why we need to come for Java programming language? That would be the question here. Simple question. That means indirectly what interviewer is asking now, what are the differences between C, C++ and Java? How Java is good when compared with C and C++? Why? Because if we specify anything in our resume, then you should be responsible for it. What is the meaning of specifying C, C++, Java in our resume? If you specify some programming language in our resume, you are telling to that interviewer, I am good in this particular programming language. If we give any work on this particular programming language, I am ready to complete that work. That's the meaning we are saying to that interviewer. If we specify any programming language in our resume. So as usual, we are able to say C, C++, Java in general in our resume. Then definitely interviewer is having right to ask why we need to go for Java over C and C++. Otherwise, already we are having C and C++, then what is the requirement to go for Java programming language? This type of questions here we are able to get. Don't worry guys, at the end, after completion of some topics, if you require the comparison between Java and Python, I'll give that comparison. You don't worry for that. I'll give effective comparisons. I had nearly 10 to 15 number of comparisons that I will provide, but we need to complete some topics in core Java. Then only we can understand it. Otherwise, you may not understand it. But as of now, we have to think more about the differences between C, C++ and Java. Majorly C and Java. Good. As part of that, the very first point, the very first difference is like what? C and C++ are static programming languages. C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is a dynamic programming language. Java is a dynamic programming language. This is the very, very first difference. Very simple difference and first difference. C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is a dynamic programming language. At least we have to remember the statement. Why C and C++ are static and why Java is a dynamic, I'll give clear-cut clarity. Don't worry for that. But at least we need to remember the statement what I given now. C, C++ are what? Static programming languages, but Java is what? Dynamic programming language. Why? Because some interviewers are asking, list out the differences between Java and C, C++. Just you have to list out that. That's it. After given nearly 6 or 7 number of differences you may specify. Once you specify all the 6 or 7 number of differences, interviewer may ask a question to you. Now tell me why C and C++ are static and Java is dynamic. How can we say C and C++ are static and Java is dynamic? Tell me some reasons internally. Interviewer may ask this type of approach. But we should be ready to give answers for this. Good. Now I'll give some clarity. And before understanding this particular point, before understanding C, C++ static and Java is dynamic, before that, first I want to give clarity which programming languages are static and which programming languages are dynamic. When we are able to say one programming language is a static and another programming language is dynamic. To say one programming language is static, another programming language is dynamic, what is a parameter we have to recognize? What exactly the parameters or measurement we have to follow? So that we have to understand clearly. Listen, all of you listen carefully. One statement I am going to specify. What was my statement here? If any programming language, listen carefully. If any programming language allows memory allocation for the primitive data types at a compilation time. At what time? Compilation time. If any programming language allows memory allocation for the primitive data, especially I'm telling you primitive data, I'll give clarity. At what time? Compilation time. Then that programming language is called as static programming language. Tell me guys, what is the statement I said to you? If any programming language allows memory allocation for primitive data at what time? Compilation time. Then that programming language is called as what? Static programming language. Similarly, another statement I will provide. Please recognize this. If any programming language allows memory allocation for the primitive data at a runtime, not at compilation time, at a runtime, then that programming language is called as what? Dynamic programming language. I think so. My statements are very much clear. Tell me, what is dynamic programming language? If any programming language allows memory allocation for the primitive data at what time? At runtime, not at compilation time. Then that is called as like what? Dynamic programming language. Memory allocation at compilation time, static programming language. Memory allocation at runtime, dynamic programming language. Very clear. Now, okay, sir, we are giving statements, okay. I can remember the statements, that's okay. But I'm having doubt on what is this compilation time and what is this run time. Having some kind of confusion. I don't know anything about computer science so far. I'm not at all from computer science background. I'm from biology background, mathematics background. Can you please give clarity on this compilation time and run time and all that I want to know? Okay, sir, good. So try to understand the story. Then after that, I will go for more internal content of this particular point. All right, sir. I will give one simple diagram. Straight question to all of you guys. Now tell me, who is writing programs actually? Developers. Developers are programs, where it may be. We are writing programs. We are in the sense, we are human beings or not? We are human beings, right? So we are writing programs. We are human beings. Okay, please come this way. Understand it now. Who is running the program? Who is running the program? We are writing the program, but who is running the program? Damn sure not you. Not you. Just we are writing the program, but who is running the program? Of course, if it is Java program, JVM. Okay. My point is, watch some mission, virtual mission or C engine, whatever it is, some mission. Some mission is running the program. Now tell me, what is that mission? Is that human being or a set of other programs? A software component or maybe hardware component, whatever it may be, it's not human being. Yes, sir. Am I right or not? Okay. Right. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. What I'm trying to say, this is a program that I've written. Developer has written the program. Developer has written the program in the sense, in a developer understandable language, he wrote the program. Developer understandable language is what? A high level programming language. It may be C, it may be Java, it may be Python, or whatever it may be. High level representation. Human readable representation. Human understandable representation. That is called as what? High level program. That we have written, high level programming language. Maybe C, I'm going to be specific, C++, maybe Java, whatever it may be. High level representations we are following. Sir, still I'm not getting clarity. What is this high level representation now? Nothing, sir. High level representation is nothing but what? Int I is equal to 10. Now tell me, int I is equal to 10. Is a human readable format or not? Int stands for integer. I is a variable. Is equal to is an operator that we know. And 10 is a constant. Semicolon is a terminator. That is our understanding. That we understood. That we can write. Okay, good. So this is my source program. I used to say, what is this program there? Source program. That human has written that program. That's okay, fine. All of you guys now tell me, who is going to execute this program? Let's assume it is a C program, for example. Definitely one mission has to execute this program or not? One mission has to execute this program. Now this is what a mission. I'm telling that this is mission. Okay. It may be C engine, it may be C++ engine, it may be Java engine. The Java engine is called as JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Leave it, whatever it may be, some machine. Now guys, observe this clearly. This machine is able to understand which language? No, machine is able to understand low level representations. Low level representations. Human beings are able to understand high level representations. Machines are able to understand what? Low level representation. Sir, what is this low level representation? Sir, I'm not aware about it. It's very clear. It should be like zeros and ones only. That low level representation is what? Zeros and ones only. Please remember this. Zeros and ones only. Good. Listen carefully. We wrote the program in a high level, and we have to give that program to like what? No, mission. Mission has to execute that program, and it has to give some output to us. It has to give some output to us. Am I right or not? Come on, guys. All of you understand my point here. We have to write the program. That program we have to give to that mission. Mission has to execute that program. Then only we are able to get some outputs. Am I right or not? Okay. But here there is a problem. What is the problem here? Listen carefully. We write the program in high level representation. That is our understandable. We are given that program to mission. It may be C engine or JVM or whatever it may be. Now tell me, this mission is able to understand which representations? Now tell me, it able to understand which representations? No, low level. But we are given which representations? No, high level. We are given high level, but it required low level. Now tell me, as it is required low level representation, and as we provided a high level representation, is it possible for mission to execute our program now? Is it possible for the mission to execute our program? Come on, guys, I'm asking to you only. Let's say, for example, a Marathi person is available, came from Maharashtra. Another Tamil person is available, came from Tamil Nadu. Marathi person aware about Marathi. You don't know anything about Tamil. Tamil person is able to aware about Tamil. You don't know anything about Marathi. But both are standing in front. Both are standing together. And they want to have some conversation. Is it possible for Marathi person to speak in Tamil? Is it possible for Tamil person to speak in Marathi? Not possible. But they want to have communication. What they have to call? Between Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, who is there? Telangana people required or not? Between Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, who is required? Telangana is available. Telangana people are required or not? Okay, maybe, of course, they may or may not aware about both the languages. Just I'm kidding there, leave it no. So definitely they require some translator or not? They require some translator or not? The translator has to convert the conversation from Marathi to Tamil and Tamil to Marathi. Like this, some translator is required or not? Exactly. Here, I need a translator. All of you guys, observe carefully. I need what? A translator. What translator I required here? Observe this clearly. Here, I want to take some translator here. Here, I want to take some translator. What is the job of this translator here? What is the job of the translator? If I give this high-level program to this translator, it has to convert the program from high-level representation to low-level representation. That low-level representation must be provided to this mission. How it able to provide this low-level representation? That low-level representation would be provided in some other file format. Everything would be provided in the form of files only. We have written our program in a .c format, .c file or .java file. That means a file, source file. Then when we translate from high level to low level, the low level code as a bundle will come or not? That bundle must be provided in the form of a separate file or not? Answer my point. In the case of C programming language, that a file would be like what? No, .exe. Exe stands for what? Execution file. Okay, execution file. Now here what we are having, sir, now tell me, this is combination of zeros and ones only. Am I right or not? It's a combination of zeros and ones only. This is executable code or not? This is mission code or not? This is low level representation or not? Whenever we are getting this low level representation, that low level representation if we give to this mission, then mission will execute this low level code and finally it able to provide some output. The required output it able to provide. Yes, guys, all of you are getting my point or not clearly? All right, sir, good. So finally, we have given source code. I want to give the name of this C programming language like a file also. That would be like what not dot C, some file name dot C, maybe file name dot C that we are given to this translator. Translator will convert from high level representation to low level representation. That low level representation would be given to this mission C engine. Then C engine will execute that program and finally it able to provide the result. Got my point or not? Now observe carefully. Here, the translator we have used to convert a program from high level to low level. The translator which we converted from high level to low level, that translator is called as compiler. The translator is called as what? Compiler. I'm asking one question to all of you guys. What exactly the job of the compiler? You have to give answer for it. What is the job of the compiler? To translate the program from high level representation to low level representation. Why we need this type of conversion? Human beings are able to write programs in high level only, but machine requires the program in which level? Low level. To run our program, we need the program in low level. So if we want to get that program in low level, that user is able to write the program in high level only, but machine required program in low level. So we have taken a translator between execution and developer program. So the translator can translate the program from high level representation to low level representation. So the translator here, what we have taken is called as like what? No, compiler. So all of you are following or not? Following or not? Okay, fine. One more responsibility for the compiler. Basically, who is writing programs, sir? Now tell me. Tell me, your response is very, very important now. Who is writing the program? A developer. Developer is a human being or not? Can you tell me, guys, what is the fundamental right for human being? What is the fundamental right for human being? Taking food, drinking water. What is the fundamental right for human being? Committing mistakes. Am I right or not? Committing. We are all human beings, sir. Definitely, if you write the program, maybe 100 errors will come, sure. 200 errors will come, sure. When we are getting errors, then we are perfect developer. Understand my point here? Companies require the developers, those who are having errors in their programs. Companies don't require the developers, those who are not having errors in their programs. I'm sure about it. I'm sure about it. If in a first attempt itself, if you are not getting any error, you are not the right developer, definitely. If you are getting errors in our program, definitely you are the right developer. Okay, whatever it may be. That theory I will give later on. Why I'm giving this type of statements? No, there are proofs. I will give that information. But try to understand it. There may be a chance to have mistakes in our program. Am I right or not? But after writing the program, before executing our program, we have to check whether our program contains any mistakes or not. We have to check. That is our responsibility or not. Before executing, see, having mistakes is not at all problem. But without rectifying the mistakes, trying to execute the program is a mistake, is a problem. So my point is, before executing the program, we have to check whether our program is having mistakes or not. Whether our programs are having errors or not. Got my point here now. So who will take the responsibility of checking errors? Who is taking the responsibility of checking our mistakes now? That responsibility is also be provided to compiler. So compiler is having two responsibilities. Compiler is for two things. What are the two things? First one is what now? Translating program from high level representation to low level representation. And second one is what? Error checking. Error checking. Error checking is another responsibility of the compiler. Yes, sir. Got my point or not? Okay, fine. The time when we are performing compilation, the time when we perform compilation is called as like what no? Compilation time. In other words, we may call it as like what no? Static time as of now. Later I will change this statement, but at present we have to remember the time when we are compiling our program is called as static time, or we may call it as like what no? Compilation time. Yes, sir. Got my point or not? All right, sir. Next one. The time when we execute our program. Tell me guys, who is executing our program here? No, a mission. That mission may be C engine in C programming language. That mission may be JVM in the case of Java programming language. The mission, that means the mission which is executing our program. The time when we execute our program, that is called as execution time. That is called as like what? No, execution time. Guys, I'm introducing terminology. Just please try to understand it. Execution time. In other words, we may call it as like what? No, run time. In other words, we may call it as like what? No, dynamic time. Dynamic or dynamic. Static and dynamic. That is my intention to introduce these 2 points here. Static and dynamic. Now tell me guys here, in this conversation, in this example, what is static time and what is dynamic time? Now tell me, what is static here? What is static and what is dynamic here? The time when we compile program is called as what? Static. The time when we execute our program is called as what? Dynamic. Are you getting my points or not? Again, I'm telling there, in this context, remember up to this, that's sufficient, not more than this. The time when we compile our program is static. The time when we execute our program is called as like what? No, dynamic. Yes, sir. Got my point or not? Okay, fine. All of you clear up to this point here? Compilation time is nothing but static. Execution time is nothing but what? No, dynamic. All of you are getting clarity up to this, no? Okay, fine. Listen carefully. Straight question to all of you guys. Why you are writing programs? Simple question. Why you are writing programs? You are crazy about programming languages. That's why you are writing programs, no? My father every day shunting me. Please do practice, do practice. Then only you will get marriage, no? That's why we are writing programs, no? Why are you writing programs? What is the requirement of this programming language? What is the requirement of writing programs, sir? That is I am asking there. We are writing program in the sense we are preparing a software application or not. The software application we are preparing for a particular company or not. Yes, sir, am I right or not? We are preparing a software application for a particular organization or not. Okay. Inside my software application, what I am going to be represented? Inside my software application, what I have to specify. For example, I'm preparing a banking application. A bank application I'm preparing. Inside this bank application, what I have to specify? What I have to represent inside my bank application? All the activities of that bank I have to represent in my program or not? Come on here. You have to answer for my question. If I'm preparing a bank application, whatever the activities which are available at bank, all these activities must be provided inside the bank application or not? Right? All that creating an account, depositing some amount, and creating a loan, renewal loan, and some point withdrawal some amount. All these things are banking activities or not? All these activities must be represented in my application or not? Okay. Along with all these activities, okay. Now tell me, I want to withdraw some amount from my account. This is my activity. But if you want to withdraw some amount from our account, no, we need some data or not? We need some data. If you want to perform withdrawal operation, data is required or not? Tell me, guys, what data you require if you want to perform withdrawal operation? What data? Account number is required. Next one is account holder name is required. Account type is required. Then after that, how much amount you want to withdraw? That what we required. Then apart from that, and so on and so on and so on and so on. Some necessary data is required or not? Means that if you want to perform these activities in our application, data must be represented or not? Data must be represented or not? That means finally what I am telling there, in our applications, we have to represent data and activities of the respective organization, actions of the respective organization. Both we have to represent in our program. Am I right or not? We have to represent both data and as well as like what? No, activities. Activities we are going to write through instructions, that's okay. But data must be represented or not? Data must be represented or not? Come on here, you're not responding for me. In programming languages, how we are able to represent data? How it is possible to represent the data? I want to represent data, that I understood. But how it is possible to represent data? To represent data, we need to take variables or not? Just we are going to say something like what? No, string account number is equal to ABC 123. Account number or not? All of you, everybody has to understand my point here. String account number is equal to ABC 123 or not? That is account representation or not? Okay, next one is like what? Now after this, now string account holder name. Account holder name is equal to say something else like what? No, Durga is the account data representation or not? And similarly, after that, might be something else like what no, long balance, account balance is equal to something else. Some amount here I want to provide something else. No, is it required or not? Now tell me, here we declared some variables here. We declared some variables, no? All these variables are having data representation or not? Say for example, string account number is equal to ABC123. Now tell me, inside the statement, what is data and what is variable? Now tell me guys. Data is what? ABC123 is a data. The data was a holded. The data was a holded in which one? Variable. What is that variable here now? ACCNO variable. Variable is ACCNO where data was represented. That's very clear. Next one is, in this particular statement, what is data? Durga is a data. Where that Durga was stored? Account holder name variable. Now here also now tell me, here what is data and what is variable here inside the statement, last statement now? Balance is a variable, but where is the data now? Might be some 10,000 or whatever it may be, some data is nothing but like what no? Data here. All of you get my point or not? So finally the point is very clear. We need to represent data in our programming languages. To store data, we need variables. Am I right or not? Okay, good. Listen, all of you listen carefully. In programming languages like C, C++, Java, all these programming languages are declarative programming languages. What is this programming language? Not declarative programming languages. What is the meaning of declarative programming languages? No. Before representing data, first you have to confirm which type of data we are representing. Without specifying type of data what we are representing, we are unable to represent the data. If you want to represent some data in our program, first we have to confirm which type of data we are representing. Without giving confirmation of the type of data, we are unable to represent the data. Got my point or not? Okay. Okay, sir, I understood. Before, for example, if I am going to represent data like this, ABC123, ABC123, that means ACCNO is equal to ABC123. If you want to represent data like this, first we have to confirm the type of data of this particular ABC123 is a string. I have to confirm it. Then only I am able to represent the data. That's the meaning of declarative programming languages. First declare the data, then confirm that. That means first confirm the type, then declare the data. First confirm a type, then provide the data. So we require data types or not? To confirm the type of the data, we require data types or not? Because of that reason only here we are having like what no? String. Because of this reason only here we are having like what no? String is okay. Because of this reason only here we are having long. Because of this reason only here we are having what? Long. Because of this reason only here we are having string. Because of this reason only int data type is available. Boolean data type is available. Character data type is available. All the data types are available to confirm the type of data what we are representing. To confirm the type of data what we are representing as per the rule. That's why these many data types are available. Am I right or not? No response. Okay, good. So data types we required. In programming languages to represent data, data types are required or not? Data types are required. How many types of data types are existed? How many types of data types are existed? If you come for this point, 2 types of data types are available. What are the types of data types? No, 2 types. What are the 2 types? No, primitive data types, non-primitive data types. That's very clear, sir. Primitive data types, non-primitive data. I don't require non-primitive data types as of now. I require only primitive data types. These primitive data types are called as predefined data types, and basic data types, fundamental data types. In general, in all programming languages, which data types are the predefined data types now? In all programming languages, which data types are predefined data types now? We can understand int, long, float, double, boolean, character. If you come for Java, byte, short, these things are available. Byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, character. 8 number of primitive data types are available in Java. 1 or less, 1 or 2, less or more, maybe similar data types are available in all programming languages. So finally, data types are required or not? How many types of data types are available? 2 types. What are the 2 types now? What are the 2 types now? Primitive data types, and second one is what? non-primitive data types. Non-primitive data types are also be called as user-defined data types. Non-primitive data types are also be called as user-defined data types. That's okay, fine. Now, observe carefully here what I'm telling. No, primitive data types are what? Integer, long, float, double, boolean, character in general, irrespective of the programming language. But if you go for programming languages, their own specification will come. That's okay. Non-primitive data types are available. They are like what? Not different data types are available. Not required as of now. Okay, good. Listen carefully. I think you understood primitive data types. We understood what is compilation and what is execution time. Now I'm framing my statement. What is my statement here? I'm telling there. Listen, one more point here. Primitive data types in the sense, for example, all of you understand this clearly. Int I is equal to tensor. This is the statement here I provided. If you want to store this 10, variable I is required or not? For this variable I, memory must be allocated or not? Memory must be required or not? That means for primitive data types, memory must be allocated or not? Primitive data types, memory must be allocated. 2 bytes or 4 bytes or 10 bytes. Okay, later we'll decide about it. How many bytes of memory will be allocated for integer? Later I will decide for it. But for I variable, memory must be allocated or not? So here my statements are like what now? If any programming language allows memory allocation for primitive data types at a compilation time, then that programming language is called as what? Come on, if any programming language allocates memory for the primitive data types at a compilation time, then the programming language is called as what? Static programming language. Compilation time in the sense the time when we perform compilation or not. As part of the compilation itself, if memory allocated for the primitive data types, as part of the compilation, if memory is allocated for the primitive data types, then that programming language is called as what? Static programming language. Similarly, if any programming language allocates memory for the primitive data types at a runtime, not at compilation time, at runtime, then the programming language is called as what? Dynamic programming language. The programming language is what? Dynamic programming language. Am I right or not? Simply speaking, in C and C++, memory will be allocated for primitive data types at a compilation time only. In C and C++, memory will be allocated for primitive data types at a compilation time only. In the case of Java, memory will be allocated for primitive data types at a runtime only. In case of Java, memory will be allocated for primitive data types at what time? At a runtime only. Because of this reason, C and C++ are what? Static programming languages, but Java is what? Dynamic programming language. So, sir, okay, understood. I want to give conclusion for this, no? Okay, sir, too much internal concepts you have discussed there, but I required outline information at least. Tell me what is the official statement here I made there? C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is what? Dynamic programming language. How can you say like this? In C and C++, memory for the primitive data types are allocated at what time? Compilation time. That's why they are C and C++. They are static programming languages. But in the case of Java, memory will be allocated for the primitive data types at what time? At runtime. That's why Java is what? Dynamic programming language. All of you are getting clarity or not? Don't worry. That running notes is not required. I have already material. That material I will provide to all of you guys. Don't worry for that. Okay? Good. If it is important, then all I will type it. Otherwise, I will give that material. The material, everything will be specified. Nearly 900 pages. Nearly 900 pages of material is available for core Java. It depends on your patience level. It's a Bible. More than Bible. More than Quran. More than Bhagavad Gita. I had so much R&D work on Java that everything I put in that material. That's my own material with my handwritten material. So you'll get that material very soon. Of course, it is chargeable, of course, because we need to get Xerox copies, right? So I'll make available that material maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow at our office there, we can collect it. So nearly 900 pages material. In that material, I included nearly up to Java 14 version I included in that material. But later on, up to Java 17 version, I need to prepare again material. That material I will submit separately again. Don't worry for that. I'll give handouts for that. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? Okay, don't worry for that. Every material, everything, whatever the statements I'm delivering inside the class, everything is available inside the material. You can get it and you can utilize it. Okay, fine. Leave this content here. So finally, we understood one simple point here. What is static programming language and what is dynamic programming language? We understood. Tell me guys, Java is what? Static or dynamic? C and C++ are what? Static programming languages. That's very clear. Good, sir. Next one is, yeah. For online students, I think so you are able to get soft copy. Don't worry for that. For online people, you are able to get soft copy. Okay, fine. All right, sir. Right. Don't worry for that. Now, required any statements here? All of you understood this statement, right? Right. Second one is also very, very important. You have to put more and more concentration on the second one. Otherwise, you will not understand it. Your complete attention is required. Then only I can speak out. You are sitting inside the class, your mind is rotating in outside, in a sense, not possible to understand. All of you are giving what? Then I can start the topic. Second statement. All of you ready to understand the second statement? Yes? Right, the last corner people are not saying anything. Yes or no? Yes, good. Maximum you are able to understand it easily. I will inject one by one each and every point, but try to put more concentration here. Right, so the second statement is preprocessor required in C and C++, but preprocessor does not require in Java. Preprocessor required in C and C++, but preprocessor doesn't require in Java. Preprocessor is not required in Java. All right, sir. Sir, okay, your statement is okay. I understood that. But I'm having the doubt. I'm completely new for this statement. You included preprocessor. There is a word. What is the preprocessor? I don't know anything about it. Moreover, you are giving the point like what now? Preprocessor required in C and C++ and preprocessor is not required in Java. You are saying the statement. Before going to start the explanation about this particular statement, first give clarity. What is preprocessor? Then only we can move forward. Without giving clarity on preprocessor, how can I understand this? So first I have to understand what is preprocessor. After that we will come for like what now? Why it is required in C and C++ and why it is not required in Java. Yes, sir. Can I move? Can I move forward? All of you ready? Right, sir. If you want to sleep now, you can sleep it now within 5 minutes. I'll give time. After that, you must be active. Then only you can understand. Okay? Ready. Listen carefully. In every programming language, predefined library is existed. Am I right? In every programming language, predefined library is existed. Some support, some predefined support is required to prepare the programs. The predefined support is provided in the form of library. When we install the software, automatically predefined library will come. When we install C software, C predefined library will come. When we install Java, Java predefined library will come. When we install C++, C++ predefined library will come automatically. Why? Because that was provided by the respective programming language vendor. C providers have included C predefined library inside the C software. When we install it, automatically that will come to our system. So finally here what I am telling there, along with our programming languages, predefined library is coming. Predefined library will come. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? Okay. Listen guys, all of you listen carefully. What exactly preprocessor now I'm talking about, try to understand it. I'll take one simple diagram so that I will explain to you. Previously I given one diagram, the same diagram I'm repeating. Now we have to give answers for it. Assume it, this is my C program. What is this program, sir? C program. C program in the sense, what is the proof it is a C program or not? .c. Extension of that file is what? .c. That's okay, nice. .c. Next one is, this .c program is high-level program or low-level program? High-level program. So what we need to convert that high-level program to low-level program or not? So to convert our program from high level to low level, which process is required? What process is required? Compilation is required or not? Compilation is required. That's very nice. Now tell me, after compilation of our program, which files here we are able to get? After compilation of our program, what files here we are able to get? Come on, guys. .exe files here we are able to get. Okay, fine. Now here I'm telling these are like what not .exe file, .execution file, exe file. That's okay. After getting this execution file, .exe file, we need to execute our program or not? So here what we have to do, we have to execute, we have to perform execution. That means C engine will perform that execution. Okay. Now here what we have to specify that this is, I'm telling there, execution. Execution. Listen carefully. Okay, fine. When we execute our program, then what we are able to get now? Tell me. Output here we are able to get. This is a processor. Everybody has to understand it. If the programming language is C or Java or C++, whatever it may be, this process here we have to follow. Now we are able to get like what now? Outputs here we are getting. That's okay, fine. Listen carefully. Output here we are getting. Any doubts up to this part here? We have written the program. We compiled the program. .exe file we are getting, that we are given to the execution process. Finally here we are getting outputs. Clear or not? I want to elaborate this compilation process. I want to understand somewhat internal inside the compilation. Are you thinking about it? The total compilation is done by only one mission, that is compiler. Do you think like that? The total compilation is completed by only compiler. Are you thinking like that? No. No. Compiler is a one mission which involved in the compilation. Like this, so many missions are available to complete compilation. Now we are going to talk about it. If you observe this compilation includes some steps. What are the various steps? What are the various missions which are involved inside the compilation here? We can observe this clearly. That very first one is a preprocessor. The first one is like what? No, preprocessor. This is one mission which is involved in a compilation. Next one, after completion of this preprocessor, the second one is compiler. The second one is like what? No, compiler. This is second one. Okay, after this. Then after this, after understanding this compiler, the next mission is like what? No, what is this next mission actually? Assembler. Another mission is like what? No, assembler. Assembler. Another mission is like what? No, assembler. Okay. After this assembler, then what next one here? Loader link editor. After this assembler, then what next one here? Loader link editor. Loader link editor. Of course, a combination of two missions, but we will treat it as a single mission. All of you observe carefully. Loader link editor. Right, sir. These are the various steps which are involved inside like what? No, compilation process. In a compilation process overall, how many missions are involved, sir? Now, up to this clearly, how many things are involved here? 4 missions are involved. Can you tell me what are these 4 missions actually? Preprocessor. Next one is what? Compiler. Next one is what? Assembler. Next one is what? Loader link editor. Not required to understand each and every one. We need only one thing. What we need to understand here? Preprocessor. Okay, fine. Anyway, conversation is available. That's why I want to elaborate this compiler also. In the future, we are going to understand this part here. Compiler also, I want to elaborate. This compiler has internally 6 phases, 6 missions, 6 phases. Compiler internally has 6 phases. What are the 6 phases inside the compiler? All of you have to this clearly. First one is lexical analysis. What is the first one? No? Lexical analysis. All right, sir. Second one is syntax analysis. Second one is what? Syntax analysis. Third one is semantic analysis. Third one is what? Semantic analysis. Okay, fine. Then after the semantic analysis, intermediate code generation. Intermediate code generation. Next one is code optimization. Next one is what? Code optimization. Then after that, code generation. code generation. Not required to remember all the statements. Just awareness purpose I'm telling there. What you have to remember, I will give that clear-cut statements at the end. But as part of my explanation, I need to include each and every one. So try to recognize it. Come on, guys. Then what are these phases actually? First one is like what now? Lexical analysis. Next one is what now? Syntax analysis. Next one is semantic analysis. Next one is intermediate code generation. Next one is a code optimization. Then after that, code generation. This total thing is available inside like what now? Compiler. This total thing is available inside like what now? Compiler. That's it, not more than that. Okay. Again, I'm telling there, as per the discussion, I'm telling there, as we are having conversation about the total structure, that's why I elaborated compiler. Actually, I don't require compiler now, but I elaborated now as per the concept. Now, what I required exactly? Now I required only preprocessor. From this diagram, what we identified? At least we understood what is the location of the preprocessor. Am I right or not? Can you tell me, guys, where is the location of the preprocessor? Part of the compilation or not? Preprocessor is available part of the compilation or not? It's a part of the compilation that you have to understand. Why I'm giving this diagram there? Because of only one statement. What is the statement now? Part of the compilation preprocessor is available. You're asking to me previously, you asked to me, sir, what is preprocessor, where it is available? For that, one answer is what? Preprocessor is a mission available inside the compilation. Got my point or not? Now, my next question is what? My next point is what? What is the job of the preprocessor in programming languages? Location of the preprocessor is a compilation. But what it able to do? What is the job of the preprocessor in compilation? What is the job of the preprocessor in compilation? That I want to know, that I have to know. Listen, all of you listen carefully. I'll give clarity. All of you observe carefully. Right, sir. Understand my point here. Previously, I said one statement. In every programming language, predefined library is available or not? Come on here. Okay, fine. In C and C++, the total predefined library is available in the form of, in C and C++, the total predefined library is available in the form of header files. Am I right or not? In C and C++, the total predefined libraries existed in the form of like what? No? Header files. Can you tell me some examples for header files? No? Header files I'm telling there. Yesterday.h, what next one here? Conyo.h, what next one? Math.h, all these things are like what? No? Header files, which contains predefined library. Am I right or not? Okay, now tell me, these predefined libraries are required in our C program or not? These predefined libraries are required in our C program or not? So we have to include these files in our C program or not? To include these predefined library in our C program, to use these header files in our C program, we have to include these header files into C program. To include these header files into C program, we have to use which statement? #include. What is the statement here? #include. What we have to specify there? stdio.h. Sir, I'm not good at C programming language, but roughly I'm trying to write some statements. If I'm wrong, try to correct it me. Okay, fine. Next one is what? Next one here now? #include conyo.h. Conyo.h. Right. What next one here? #include. What next one here? Math.h. In C and C++, predefined library is available in the form of header files. What are the examples for these header files? No, stdio.h, conyo.h, and math.h, and so on. So many. But if you want to use these header files in our C program, what statements here we have to use there? #include statements here we have to use or not? What statements here we have to use there? #include statements here we have to use. Okay, fine. All right, sir. Observe carefully. Some internal topic I'm talking, put more consolation here. Easily we can understand. I've written a C program. Inside the C program, I have included these statements. Clear or not? I have written a C program. Inside the C program, I included these statements. What statements I included here? No. Hash include yesterday.h, hash include conio.h, and hash include math.h. These many statements I included inside my C program. I compiled my C program. I'm starting compilation over my C program. When I compiled my C program, what is the first phase of the compilation? Preprocessor. Now what preprocessor will do when we compile a C program which includes hash include statements? Listen carefully. Preprocessor will come to all hash include statements. Preprocessor will take header files names, yesterday.h, conio.h, math.h. Preprocessor will take all the header files names. Preprocessor will go to C software. Preprocessor will go to C software. Inside the C software, preprocessor will check whether these header files are existed or not existed. What preprocessor is doing? Preprocessor will recognize all the statements. Preprocessor will come to these hash include statements, and preprocessor will take all the header files names. Preprocessor will take all the header files names. Preprocessor will check whether these header files are existed or not existed inside the C software. If they are not existed, preprocessor will give an error message. These header files are not available, but you specified inside the C program. Preprocessor will give an error message. Okay. For example, if these header files are existed, inside the C software, preprocessor will take all these header files. Preprocessor will open these header files. Preprocessor will take that executable code from this header file. That means predefined library. Preprocessor will load this predefined library to the memory. Come again. What I said to you. Preprocessor will recognize all these hash include statements in our C program. Preprocessor will collect all the header files names from the hash include statements. Preprocessor will check them whether they're available or not inside the C software. If they're not available, then it will give an error message. If they're available, preprocessor will collect all these header files. Preprocessor will open these header files. Preprocessor will get the predefined library from these header files. Preprocessor will load that predefined library to the memory. Simply what I am telling, loading predefined library done by preprocessor. What preprocessor is doing? It loads. It is loading predefined library to the memory. Am I right or not? Loading predefined library to the memory. Tell me, sir, preprocessor is a part of the compilation or not? Preprocessor is a part of the compilation or not? Now preprocessor is loading predefined library to the memory at compilation or not? Now tell me, if any predefined library is loaded at compilation time, then the type of loading is called as a static loading. If predefined library is loaded to the memory at compilation time, then the type of loading is called as what? Static loading. Am I right or not? Now tell me, preprocessor is supporting static loading or not? Preprocessor is supporting static loading or not? Okay, good. I'm asking one question, answer for it. What is the job of the preprocessor in C and C++? What is the job of the preprocessor in C and C++? Loading predefined library to the memory. In simply way, recognizing and executing hash include statements in C and C++ programs. Recognizing and executing hash include statements in C and C++. Executing hash include statements in the sense loading predefined library to the memory. That is the job of the preprocessor in our programming languages. Is my point is clear or not? In C and C++, preprocessor is able to load the predefined library which we specified along with the hash include statements, not more than that. Okay. Now coming to the Java. Listen carefully. If you observe this diagram here, this diagram I have given with what? C and C++. All of you observe this clearly. This diagram I have given with what? C and C++. Now the same diagram I want to provide in Java. In Java, how this diagram is going to be existed? What changes we record? I'll give clarity now. Try to observe this clearly. In Java, how this diagram is available. Guys, now all of you observe this clearly. If it is Java program, what should be the file extension, sir? Now tell me. What should be the file extension here? No, dot Java. Good. When we are having a file name with the dot Java extension, then that file is what? Java file. If the file is a dot C, then that is what? C file. If the file is dot CPP, that file is what? C++ file. Now dot Java, Java file. Dot PY, Python file. Okay, fine. Next one is on a dot Java program we prepared. Now we compile our program. Then here, what file here we are able to get here after compilation of our program? .exe is up to C and C++. But in the case of Java, here what we are able to get there? In the case of Java, here we are able to get like what now? Dot class. Here we are able to get what? Dot class. Okay, dot class files. Sir, in C and C++ is a bit confusion. Dot C file, dot assembly file, or dot exe file, dot obj file. So many files are coming into the picture in C and C++. But in Java, it is very clear. Only two types of files. What are the two types of files? You know, first one is a dot Java. Second one is dot exe. Before compilation, dot Java. After compilation, dot class. Dot class. That's it. No confusion. Not at all confusion. Okay, fine. Leave this. Next one is dot class file. Here we are getting. When we execute this dot class file, here we are able to get like what now? Output. And one more thing. Now tell me, preprocessor is available or not available in Java? Not available. So I want to strike off this. Not available. In Java compilation, compiler, assembler, loader, link editor. So many other components are also available, but not required now. So preprocessor is not available in Java. Okay? Listen carefully, all of you. Guys, all of you observe carefully. In Java, tell me, sir, in C and C++, the complete predefined library is available in the form of which files? No, header files. In C and C++, the total predefined library is available in the form of what? Header files. Yes, sir. All of you are following or not? Somewhat internals I am talking there. I want to check your mind today. How much you are going to be remembered? I want to check it, but concepts are very simple. You have to put your constellation. That's it. Not more than that. Easily we can understand it. Okay. In C and C++, predefined library is available in the form of what? Header files. Similarly, in Java, the total predefined library is available in the form of packages. Predefined libraries exist in the form of what? Packages. The structure is different. C is following its own style. Java is following its own style. In Java, predefined library is available in the form of what? Packages. In C and C++, predefined library is available header files. Understand that comparison here? Got my point or not? Okay, fine. In the case of these packages, can you tell me some examples for these packages, guys? What packages we have here? Java.io is a package. For input and output operations, we require some predefined library. That predefined library is available in the form of what now? Java.io. Next one is Java.util. Java.util for utility data structures. Data structures like a stack, queue, linked list, and all these things. The data structure related stuff is available inside like what now? Java.util. Next one is Java. Something else like what now? SQL. If I want to interact with the database from Java program, JDBC, where Java.SQL package is required, there only predefined library is available. Come on, guys. Now tell me, in Java, the total predefined libraries existed in the form of what? Packages. Tell me the examples for packages now. Java.io, Java.util, Java.SQL. Okay, good. Listen, in C and C++, predefined library is available in the form of header files. To use the header files in our C program, we have included the header files in our C program by using which statements? No, hash include statements. Similarly, if we want to use predefined library in Java program, we have to include these packages in our Java program or not? We have to include these packages in our Java program or not? To include these packages in Java program, Here we have to use a separate statement. The statement is what? Import statement. The statement is what? Import statement. It's almost equal to hash include statement in C and C++. In Java, what is the statement we are using? Import statement. Import java.io.star. Star in the sense I'll give clarity. Don't worry for that. The next one is like what? No import. What next one here? Java.util.star. Then what next one, sir? Now tell me. Import java.sql.star. Star in the sense all. Star in the sense all from java.io package. All from java.util package. All from java.sql package. Yes, sir. Following or not? In Java, predefined library is available in the form of packages. Examples for packages are java.io, java.util, java.sql, and so on and so on and so on. But to use this predefined library in Java program, we need to include these packages in our Java program. To include these packages in Java program, we have to use which statement here? Import statement here we have to use. Am I right or not? What statement here we have to use there? Import statement here we have to use. Observe carefully. All right, sir. Import statement here we are able to use. Good. I prepared a Java program. Listen, now the internal concept. I prepared a Java program. I'm trying to compile my Java program. Preprocessor is not available in Java. Please remember this. I'm trying to compile my Java program. Now what compiler will do? What is the job of the compiler? Just previously we understood the job of the preprocessor. Can you tell me the job of the preprocessor in C and C++? Preprocessor will recognize hash include statements, collect all the header files names, identifying these header files in C software. If they are available, getting the header files, loading the header file content to the memory at a compilation time. That is called a static loading. Now coming to Java. I prepared a Java program. Inside my Java program, these many package import statements are available. Import java.io.star, import java.util.star, import java.sql.star. These many statements are existed. Clear or not? I'm trying to compile my program. In my Java, preprocessor is not available. Preprocessor is not available. So compiler will take the responsibility of including predefined library. Now what compiler will do? What compiler will do? Listen carefully. Internal concept. Compiler will recognize all the statements. Compiler will recognize all the statements, all the import statements. Compiler will recognize all the import statements as usual. Compiler will take the provided package names. Compiler will take all the provided package names. What are the package names now? Java.io, Java.util, Java.sql. Compiler will take all the package names. Compiler will collect all the names of the packages. Then compiler will go to Java software. Compiler will check whether these packages are available or not available inside the Java software. Compiler will check whether these packages, specified packages are exist or not exist inside the Java software. If they are not existed, then compiler will raise an error. Package java.xxx does not exist. Like this, we are able to get an error. Compiler will raise an error if they are not available inside the Java software. If the specified packages are available inside the compiler, inside the Java software, if the specified packages are available inside the Java software, compiler will not load. Compiler will not load the specified packages to the memory. Whereas preprocessor, when it identifies predefined library in C software, immediately preprocessor loads that respect to predefined library to the memory. But in the case of Java, compiler is checking whether these packages are available or not. Not available, rise an error. Available, it will not load any predefined library to the memory. Compiler will not load predefined library to the memory. Why? Because in the Java, the job of the compiler is only to check whether the specified packages are existed or not existed. Not existed, rise an error. Existed, don't rise an error. That's it. But not to load any predefined library to the memory. Whereas what preprocessor is doing? Tell me, yaar, what preprocessor is doing? Preprocessor at compilation time, it is loading predefined library to the memory or not? That is called as what? Static loading. But in Java, what compiler is doing? Compiler is checking, just checking whether the specified packages are existed or not existed. If they're not existed, raise an error. If they're existed, don't raise an error and don't load that predefined library to the memory. In Java, at a compilation time, predefined library is not loading. But in C and C++, at a compilation time, predefined library is loaded. Okay, in Java, if compiler is not loading predefined library, who will load predefined library in Java? At what time this predefined library will be loaded in Java? At runtime. Now tell me, runtime in the sense, who is executing our Java program? Who is executing Java program? JVM. JVM is executing our Java program at runtime. At runtime, when JVM identifies, when JVM required predefined library, then JVM will load all the specified packages, all the specified packages provided predefined library to the memory. At runtime, JVM will load the required predefined library to the memory, which are specified along with our import statements. Which package is required by JVM? At runtime, JVM will load the package content to the memory. That's it. Which library is required by JVM at runtime, which we specified along with import statements, the JVM will load that predefined library to the memory. Tell me guys, in Java, predefined library is loaded at what time? At runtime or compilation time? Runtime. In case of C and C++, predefined library is loaded at what time? Compilation time. So it is called a static loading. In Java, predefined library is loaded at what time? Runtime. So it is called as what? It is called as what? Dynamic loading. This is called as what? Dynamic loading. Tell me, static loading, dynamic loading, two statements are available. Which programming language is following dynamic loading and which programming language is following static loading? Java is following dynamic loading. C and C++ are following static loading. Am I right or not? Okay, sir. Good. Now tell me, coming to the conclusion. I think you understood clearly the points, no? Now coming to the conclusion. In C and C++, to load a predefined library, preprocessor is required. In C and C++, to execute hash include statements, what is required? Preprocessor is required. In Java, preprocessor is not required. Why? Because in Java, hash include statements are not available. In Java, preprocessor is not required. Why? Because hash include statements are not available. Why hash include statements are not available in Java? Why? Because in Java, predefined library is not existed in the form of header files. In Java, predefined library is not existed in the form of header files. In Java, predefined libraries existed in the form of what? Packages. To include packages, we are using which statements? No, import statements. Import statements are recognized and executed by both the compiler and JVM. Is there any requirement to use preprocessor in Java now? Is it required to use preprocessor in Java now? No, preprocessor does not required in the case of what? Java. But preprocessor is required in the case of what? C and C++. Am I right or not? Conclusions are clear or not? Come again. What is the conclusion I said to you? In C and C++, preprocessor is required. Why? Because we need to execute hash include statement. Why? Because we are having predefined library in the form of header files. But in the case of Java, preprocessor is not required. Why? Because in Java, hash include statements are not available. Why? Because in Java, predefined library is not existed in the form of header files. But in the case of Java, predefined libraries exist in the form of what? Packages. Because of this reason, hash include statements are not required. Because of this reason, preprocessor is not required in the case of what? Java. So following or not? Even though this total internals are understanding or not understanding, that doesn't matter. But your final conclusion would be preprocessor is required in C and C++. Preprocessor is not required in Java. Somewhat internal. Why, if this question is coming there, In C and C++, library is available in the form of header files. To include that library, we are having hash include statements. To run these hash include statements, we require preprocessor in the case of C and C++. In the case of Java, preprocessor is not required. Why? Because hash include statements are not available. Why? Because predefined library is not available in the form of header files. Okay, predefined library is available in Java in the form of what? Packages. To recognize and load these packages, we have already compiled JVM. That compile and JVM will take responsibility of loading, identifying, checking, and loading packages to the memory, but not required to have like what? No, preprocessor. Yes, sir. All of you are following or not? Sir, we are talking too much technical in second day itself. How it is possible for us to understand? Huh? This question is coming now. Real now, tell me here. All of you are understanding or not? Good, good. So required documentation I will provide. Don't worry for that. This total information I will provide here. You can understand it now. Okay, fine. Next one. I will give one example regarding this one, regarding this compiler. And before that, I give in one diagram also clearly. Are you understanding this diagram? All of you understand this diagram? Compilation, execution, static time, runtime. Next one is what? After that, another diagram I given. What exactly the compiler structure internal compilation structure? Compilation includes how many phases? No, 4 phases. Preprocessor, compiler, assembler, loader, link editor. That's okay. Next one is compiler internally is having how many statements? How many phases? No, 6 phases. What are the 6 phases here? Lexical analysis, syntax analysis, semantic analysis, intermediate code generation, code optimization, and code generation. About this diagram I'm telling there, I need only preprocessor. That's why I highlighted this preprocessor. Remaining things are not required. In the future, when I require them, I will talk about them by the time, not immediately. Okay. This is C and C++ structure. Similarly, I given one more structure. This is about what? Java. Tell me guys, in the case of Java, first we have written .java file. After compilation of Java program, .class files we are getting. But in the case of C and C++, .c, .exe, .obj, and so on and so on, so many files are coming. It's a bit confusion. But in the case of Java, it's very clear that only 2 files. What are the 2 files here? .java, .class file. Okay, good. And now, I want to give one interview question now. One interview question I want to give. Now, you have to answer for my question. What is that interview question here now? What are the differences between hash include statement? For freshers, definitely you will get this question. That's why I'm typing it. What are the differences between hash include statement and import statement? And what next one? Import statement. This is a question, guys. Answer is already available with you. Am I right or not? Answer is already available with you. You have to answer for my question. Shall we start answer for this question? Shall we start answer for this question? First one. Now tell me, guys. First of all, which statement in which programming languages? Now tell me. Hash include statements are existed in C and C++. Nice. What about this import statement? No. Import statements are existed in Java. Perfect. Perfect. Then what next one? Second one. Second one. I'm asking this. Second statement. All of you now tell me. What is the second statement here? What the statements are able to do? What their functionalities? Now tell me. Hash include statements are able to include the predefined library. Tell me guys, predefined library existed in the form of header files. Predefined hash include statements are able to include predefined library which are existed in the form of like what? No, header files. That's okay, fine. Next one is what about this import statements? No, import statements are able to include the predefined library which is existed in the form of what? In the form of what? Packages. Am I right or not? In the form of packages. That's okay, fine. Next one. This is second point that we understood here. Next one is third point here. Now, this point is also important. who will recognize hash include statements and who will recognize import statements here. Now understand this, no? Hash include statements are recognized and executed. Hash include statements are recognized and executed by preprocessor, but whereas import statements are recognized and executed by now tell me both compiler and JVM, by both compiler and JVM. Clear or not? This is third point here. Next one is fourth point. One more point here. Which one is supporting static loading and which one is supporting dynamic loading? That's my point here. Hash include statement is supporting what? Hash include statements are supporting what? Static loading. Can you tell me what is static loading? What is static loading? Loading predefined library at what time? Compilation time. Okay, when hash include statements are supporting static loading, that's okay, fine. Similarly, what about this import statements are? Now tell me, import statements are supporting what? Supporting dynamic loading. Now tell me, Java is following which type of loading? C and C++ are following which type of loading? That's very nice. Next one. After that, all of you listen carefully. Fifth statement, a bit confusion statement, but you have to understand clearly. Everybody, understand this one here. To include, listen carefully, multiple header files. To include multiple header files, we have to use multiple hash include statements. Am I right? Yes, sir. Am I right? To include multiple header files, we have to use what? Multiple hash include statements. Example, I'm telling there, hash include std. Same example, stdio.h, standard input and output. Okay. Next one is what? Hash include conio.h. Okay. Next one is after that, hash include math.h. Hash include math.h. Okay. Now tell me, 3 header files I want to include. So 3 times I have written hash include statements or not? So number of finish sections are increasing more or not? But in the case of Java, what is the alternative actually? In Java, to include more than one predefined library, more than one class. Predefined library in the sense here, what I am telling there, no, classes are interfaces. Simply, class are interface. Predefined library is in the form of classes and interfaces now. To include more than one predefined library in the sense classes are interfaces of the same package. Predefined class or interface of the same package, then it is sufficient to write a single import statement. Listen carefully. What I said to you, in Java, to include more than one predefined library, that is classes or interface, more than one class or more than one interface of the same package. What I'm telling there, of the same package, then it is sufficient to write a single import statement. Example, I'm telling there, import, everybody has to understand this, import java.io.star, sir. Java.io.star. What is the meaning of it now? Java.io is a package. When we specify .star, then automatically its meaning is what? All from java.io will import. All from java.io will import. That means more than one class or more than one interface is available inside java.io package. All classes and interfaces are available to Java file, are available to present Java program. Now tell me, how many import statements I have written here? Only one import statement. For example, different classes from different packages. If all classes from same package, one single import statement. Different classes from different packages. How many import statements we have to write now? Multiple import statements we have to write. The condition is what? If classes came from different packages, there we have to write multiple import statements. But if all the classes are coming from single package, same package, then single import statement is sufficient. At least some optimization is available. Now tell me, in which case, in which programming language, number of lines will be increased? In which programming language, number of lines will be reduced? In which programming language, number of lines are increased? In C and C++. In which programming language, number of lines are reduced? Java. That means Java is a tight-coded programming language or not? C and C++ are loose-coded programming language or not? Already that we discussed it previously. Right? Now, this is what exactly the meaning of like what no? The differences between Java and other programming language. Final conclusions are, how many differences we understood today? Two differences we understood. I'm not asking about the differences between include statement and import statement. Difference between Java and others. How many differences we understood? Two differences. What are the two differences? The first one is what? C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is what? Dynamic programming language. Second difference is what? Preprocessor is required in C and C++, but preprocessor is not required in Java. Okay. One interview question I covered today. What was that interview question, guys? Can you tell me differences between hash include statement and import statement? Tell me what is the first difference here? Hash include statements are existed in C and C++, but import statements are existed in Java. What is the second difference now? Hash include statements are able to include predefined library exists in the form of header files, but import statements are able to include the predefined library exists in the form of packages. Third difference is what? Hash include statements are recognized and executed by preprocessor, but import statements are recognized and executed by compiler and JVM. Fourth one is what? Hash include statements are supporting static loading and import statements are supporting dynamic loading. Next one is, to include multiple header files, we have to use multiple hash include statements. So number of lines will be increased. But in Java, to include more than one predefined class or predefined interface of the same package, then it is sufficient to write a single import statement, not required to write multiple import statements. If interviewer is asking this question, will you give all these 5 differences? No? Damn sure. If you are the fresher, maybe chances are available to get this type of question in your interview. So you have to be prepared for that. Yes, sir. Good. Almost all time is up. And shall we meet on tomorrow? So I am requesting to all of you. Exactly, I'm going to start the classes by 8:30 at any cost. But come to the classes by 8:30. Don't be delay. If you're delaying, some content you are going to be missed out. So don't be delay. Come to the classes exactly by 8:30. I'm going to start the classes by 8:30. Exactly 8:30. Even one member is sitting in front of me. Sufficient for me to talk the class. If nobody is coming, then I'll wait. But if at least one member is coming, then definitely I'll start the class. So be ready. Come to the class by 8:30. Okay, that is one thing. And other thing, and I think yesterday, okay, sir, just wait a minute of time. And other thing is what, and some people are asking to me, sir, which courses are deal by which faculty? Some coaches are coming to me. So anyway, I'll give some clarity, just 2 minutes of time. Have patience and now try to understand it. What I'm trying to say, no? So core Java, for example, core Java, who are going to teach now? Sir, of course, some of you are not aware about my name, Nagoor Babu. My name is Nagoor Babu. Myself, I'm able to deal and Ratan sir is available at Durga Soft, and Nageshwara sir is available at Durga Soft, and Srinivas Reddy. Srinivas Reddy is available. Next one is a Sharif. These many trainers are available for core Java. Don't ask me, sir, who is best at Durga Soft. Obviously, myself is best. I'm telling that. Okay, not like that, but all are good. All are good at Durga Soft. No trainer is bad at Durga Soft. Everybody is good. Okay, for core Java, I'm telling that these many faculty members. Okay, just at least you need to aware about it, each and every one. Next one is after that, who are going to take advanced Java classes. If you observe this advanced Java classes again, you are able to see my name and Ratan able to take, and Nageshwar sir are able to take. Okay, and Srinivas Reddy is also be taking. But Srinivas Reddy is mainly for what I'm telling the project oriented classes, like 1 month, something else. That mode is different. Okay, but anyway, he able to take classes. This is advanced Java. Next one is like what? Hibernate. Hibernate now here, who are going to take these classes here? Almost all these many members are able to take these classes here, except Nageshwar sir. We are able to take these classes. Hibernate. Next one is Springboard and microservices. Microservices, we are all able to take these classes. Right. Similarly, web services. Again, here we are able to take these classes again. We 3 members were able to. That means my batch I committed. I will take all these classes now. Understand it here. Some other trainers batches are available. They will take their classes here. But who are possible to take these classes? I'm telling you. For you, myself is a responsible person for core Java, advanced Java, Hibernate, Springboard, microservices, and all. Next one is what I am telling there. After this, Aragil is available now. Sharif sir will take it now, but I'll be back of that. I will give background support for you. That means first priority for Sharif sir. You can attend for that. If you have any problems, then you can come to me. I will teach it. That means I will explain that. In any case, if you are getting problem, if you are not getting clarity about it, then I'll be back off. I don't want to lose you. Without having any clarity, we don't want to leave you. That damn sure about it. So I'll be back of you. Next one is after that, UI technologies. Ramesh will take the classes now. Ramesh sir will take the classes. And again here, I'll be back of that. I know everything about this Java, total full stack. In every area, I had the information. Okay. In every area, I'll be back of that. But separate trainers are available. I'm trying to assign the trainers. This is one thing. Next one is after that. Next one is like what? Not DevOps. Linux, AWS, and DevOps. AWS, Linux, and what next one here? AWS and DevOps. So these things would be taken care by Chaitanya sir. Chaitanya, and again here also be myself is a backup for it. That means background support. If you have any problem, directly you can come to me, then I'll explain that. You don't worry for that. This is one thing. Then apart from that, testing tools. Testing tools here, Mahesh Babu. Mahesh Babu, senior actor, na? Mahesh Babu, then Nagoor Babu. Sync is good, right? If it is not possible with Mahesh Babu, then you can come to Nagoor Babu. Nagoor Babu will explain that. So unfortunately, in Durga Soft, all Babus are available. More number of Babus are there. Mahesh Babu, Nagoor Babu, Chaitanya Babu, Ramesh Babu. Good. Anyway, guys, don't worry for that. I'm giving simple confidence to all of you. For this total full stack, myself is a responsible person for that total. Okay, remaining courses, different faculties are available. You can attend for the demo class, you can attend for it. Okay, backside support I will provide to you. Don't worry for that. Okay, that's all. Thank you, and tomorrow we'll meet at 8:30. Thanks a lot. Guys, those who are in online, please, any queries, then I will give clarity. Yeah, all the above are part of full stack, guys. Yeah, Lakshmi, then cost will not be more, then I will recognize it. That means if you take core Java class now, then within, might be when you go for advanced Java, definitely you will get some reduction in our cost. Why? Because officially we are not specifying these packages, but when we come for individual courses, automatically you are able to reduce the payment. Don't worry for that. Okay. Sir wants time to complete core Java. Yeah, within 2.5 months to 3 months after it will complete, sir, core Java. Then core Java to full stack. Full stack. As of now, full stack is not available, guys, in online. Individual courses are available. You can join with core Java now. You can join with core Java now. Then when we go for remaining courses, then automatically you will get some benefit. Don't worry for that. Please inform the more full stack online class. Definitely, definitely. Whenever I'm going to take this full stack on online, I'll give that information to all of you guys. Don't worry. Yeah, Pradeep, and when you register for the course, then send the screenshots of your receipts and everything to us. Then they will provide that permanent link to you. So there is a process. One time talk with our admin people. Guys, and if you want to reach our office there, just we can use Durga Soft Online. Yeah. They will talk with you within 1 or 2 days of time. They will provide that links and everything. They'll be give clarity. They'll give clarity. So anyway, then try to communicate through this Gmail. Otherwise, and you can contact with the 888-525-2627. And some other numbers are also available. Just you can talk with them. Then they will contact with you clearly. Which version of Java will teach, sir? Up to the latest version, sir. Yeah, then as of now, I'm planning with Java 17 version. Up to the latest version, I'm able to teach inside our classes. Don't worry for that. Up to the latest version. By the end of your batch, if Java 18 is coming, then definitely I will teach that. If Java is 19 is available, then I will teach that. Don't worry for that. The soft copy I will provide, guys. Within 2 to 3 days of now, I'll create a channel. Through that, I will give soft copy material to all of you. Yeah, don't worry. Soft copy notes and as well as officially document is available. Nearly 900 pages document I will provide. At the same time, classroom document also I will provide. Manu. Okay. Yeah. Oracle your technologies. Then within 15 to 20 days of time, I'll start Oracle classes there. We'll start Oracle classes. Parallel, we can. Yeah, parallel. Yeah, start. But if you want to go for advanced Java, Oracle is required. Minimum. JDBC topic is there, no? Where Oracle minimum is required. If you want to start the server-side programming like server-side JS, no, UI technologies part is required. So parallel to core Java, we'll start Oracle and UI technologies. Yeah, definitely. In that way only we are planning. If I start immediately advanced Java, you'll not understand anything. Why? Because Oracle knowledge is required. Yeah, within once this batch is set right, then definitely we'll start it. Maybe we can expect within 20 days. Yeah, no problem then. Okay. Good, nice. Yeah, how long you are going to be available here? More than sufficient. Sure. It will be complete. Yeah, in the case if any urgencies, if you are moving to abroad, then come to me, then I'll give online classes support. Don't worry for that. Yeah, sure. I'll announce in the class. I'll give that clear cut schedule, sir. Then what is the path we have to follow? Then everything I'll discuss inside the class. 1 week before itself, I'll discuss about it. I'm sure about it. Up to myself, up to how many classes I'm going to take, how many courses I'm going to take, I'll give up to that mandatory. Remaining trainers, I have to request. Yeah, then already they're going. If register there, then every day videos are uploading. In this class, videos are also uploading. Google Drive access will provide. Maybe it may take 1 or 2 days after my this. Then they are preparing Google Drive and they have to give that access. No, it may take 1 or 2. Within 1 or 2 days, everything will be fine. Thank you. What? Definitely, Durga certification will provide. You are attending courses here and your conduct is very good. Like this, we are providing certification. Sir, actually, what I'm telling there, on every topic, on every course, definitely we are going to prepare some projects, mini projects kind of thing. With that knowledge, you are able to prepare any type of project in outside. Definitely, definitely. Then see, interview అడిగేది మ్యాక్స్ ఎంతవరకు అడుగుతారంటే ఈ మోడల్ ఎట్లా ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తున్నారు అది ఆల్రెడీ క్లాస్ రెగ్యులర్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది క్లాస్ అయిపోతాయి అంతా కూడా. నేను అడ్వాన్స్ లెవెల్ వచ్చేసరికి సొల్యూషన్ చేసి ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ తీసుకుంటాను. క్రెడ్ ఆపరేషన్స్ లైక్ ఇన్సర్టింగ్ అప్డేటింగ్ అన్ని త్రూ వెబ్ అప్లికేషన్ లాంటివి తీసుకుంటాను. దానిలో దగ్గర దగ్గర మీకు ఒక 1200 లైన్స్ ఆఫ్ కోడ్ అట్లాంటి చేస్తారు. మీరు ఫ్రీక్వెంట్గా చేస్తుంటారు. ఆ టైంకి వచ్చేసరికి వాళ్ళు ఆ మోడల్ గురించి చెప్పగానే మీరు చెప్పేస్తారు ఆటోమేటిక్. అంతవరకు వస్తుంది నాలెడ్జ్. ఇబ్బంది లేదు. ఇన్ ద కేసు మీ జాబ్ వచ్చి వెళ్ళిపోయారు అనుకోండి, ఇంకా మీ కోర్స్ ఉందనుకోండి, ఒకసారి కుదరపోతే ఒకసారి రిక్వెస్ట్ పెట్టండి, ఇస్తారు ఆప్షన్ ఇస్తారు. ఇబ్బంది లేదు. కాకపోతే ప్రాపర్ వే ఉండాలి, ప్రాపర్ రీజన్. ఎందుకంటే మీ ఆఫర్ లెటర్ చూపించాలి, ఇదంతా కూడా జాయిన్ అయిపోతుందని చెప్తాను అప్పుడు. ఎందుకంటే ఇక్కడ వేరియేషన్ ఉంటుంది ఆఫ్లైన్ కన్నా ఆన్లైన్కి. which course core Java, no? 2.5-3 months of time it will take. Full stack, no? Full stack, if we conduct the classes in parallel, it may be complete 5 to 6 months of time. Sure, definitely. 1 month or before or later, definitely around that 6 to 7 months of time, it will be completed. See one thing, then if time is not possible for you by the end of this course, that means how long you are going to be available at Hyderabad, stay up to that. In the case if you are leaving from Hyderabad there, don't worry, then come to me, I'll give that online classes support to you. Yeah.
I have done diploma in mining engineering.
Okay, fine.
And with that, I have done Bachelor of Arts for competition exams.
Okay.
From last 6 to 7 months, I was preparing for it, but my even because after passing 12, I was thinking to have.
Okay. So don't worry. You'll get it. Even if you are coming from different background, you'll not get any problem there. Why? Because the software field is open for everybody. Okay, then you can plan for it. Then once you are keeping some experience in your resume, definitely your background things are going to be hidden, so that you will get opportunity.
Some people come saying that why are you coming here?
Not like that. So 1 or 2 years of experience, if you keep there, then definitely your background story and everything will be hidden. They will think about presently what you are doing. If you are working there, then definitely they'll recognize that. So that opportunity, that option is available. Okay. Guys, don't advance Java when it will start. And Sashikala, and it will start maybe then few days after we have to wait for advanced Java. Java is taken after completion of course, not after completion of core Java, guys. Advanced Java will be taken maybe within 45 days of time. Half of the core Java is complete, then I'll start advanced Java. With my knowledge, with my classes, you can put 4 to 5 years of experience in your resume, guys. Yeah, with my content, 4 to 5 years of experience you can put. Don't worry. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah, then UI Technologies and Araikil, I'll be there. Max, I will start it. Some other trainers will also be starting. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, videos are available, guys. Then for every class, video support you are able to get by default. But within 1 or 2 days of time, that videos will be provided to everybody. Yeah. Pratik, definitely. Then meanwhile, I will give the total part for full stack. While doing core Java, then I'll give that information there. Lakshmi, and if we want to go for advanced Java, we need to have basic awareness on Oracle and UI technologies. Then only you can understand it. Core Java mandatory, then UI technologies and Oracle must. Advanced Java maybe 7 to 8:30 IST, maybe in the future, not immediately. In the future, 7 to 8:30 IST. Design patterns, automatically it will be covered, sir. In each and every technology, design patterns will come there. So on the respective topic, which design pattern will come, that I will cover. In core Java also some design patterns will cover. Java full stack online option. I'll talk, sir. I'll talk about it. Not now, immediately. Okay. Are you going to teach advanced Java online? Yes. Renuka, advanced Java also be online. I will teach, but not immediately. It may take exactly. It may take at least 40 to 45 days of time. Okay. Thank you guys, and shall we meet on tomorrow? Anything else, guys? Yeah. Shiv Shankar. Yeah, can you please? Fast track Java course, some other trainers are teaching, sir. Not my classes there. It's a regular course only, not fast track. Yeah, we can learn both core and advanced Java parallelly, but after completion of 45 days in core Java, after completion of the object orientation in core Java, then we can start advanced Java. Shiv Shankar. After completion of object orientation in core Java, then we can start advanced Java. You'll not get any problem. Yeah. Yeah, we can put experience also, but that background checkup and everything is depends on the companies, guys. Because of the companies to which you are moving. Okay, then on the basis of that only they will check that background. GE is available, for example. So they are having strong background check, but TCS is available, light background check. In that way, we are able to classify. Yeah, Sunil Kumar started already today onwards. I have started the subject, actual content, not demo classes there. Yeah, gradually I'm moving from difference between Java and others to Java. Gradually I'm moving there. Definitely. How to manage regarding this background verification in the sense that depends. That means in the company when they are coming, then we have to recognize them. When background people are coming, we have to recognize them. And before that, you might be associated with one consultancy, right? Keep on. We have to touch with the consultants people and all. Okay. Online full stack Java. I will give clarity very soon, guys. Don't worry. But anyway, register for core Java. When I'm going to give clarity on this full stack, then I will include that core Java also in that. Don't worry. Nice, Narendra. Thanks. No, Narendra. Then you have to talk with admin people. Yeah, Narendra. Just talk with admin people. They will give path. They will give path for it.